first election since the publication of the IPCC report, or the first general election, and it's really important that we have the opportunity to hear what our candidates will do for us in Westminster.
I didn't get into politics for environmental reasons. I get into politics for constitutional reasons. I believe firmly that Scotland should be an independent country and we could be a richer and fairer society. If we are treating it like an emergency, then why do we not come and face you and speak to you?
The capitalist system depends on growth, which in turn results in many of the causes of climate crisis. Labour will build new offshore and onshore wind turbines. We will also need new nuclear power stations. They must tell people the truth of the climate emergency we face and the dangers of doing nothing.
Absolutely, we are facing a climate emergency. We are the first generation that understand this climate emergency, and we are the last generation that can actually make a difference and try and address it. There's lots of exciting policies in the Lib Dem manifesto. I'm sure they're going to come out in discussion tonight. But I think I wanted just to say there is no single policy or pledge that can address this climate emergency. I think we need to move from short-term, financially driven decisions to try and incorporate this climate emergency angle into everything that we do.
The Labour Party has a manifesto which puts climate change front and foremost. It will bring jobs, it will change the way that people live, it will actually not rely on economic growth. We will look at different economic models.
I think we need a change, I think we need a new approach, and I am new to this game.
When I look at my own party's targets, they seem to be pitched beyond the danger point. 2045 and 2050 for zero carbon is far too late. So I don't think anything's sufficient. We've done things, we've set some targets, they're ambitious, we've got a new Green Deal, we've funded that with £500 million. But is it enough? No, it's absolutely not enough. If you treat this like a true emergency, then you need to think more like an engineer and a scientist. And it's clear that the politicians are the roadblock to this. And the commitment that I'll make to you, and it's a bit of a cliche, that I'll treat it as my emergency. I will not trumpet lines and I will not trumpet statistics for political gain. I'll make sure we tell the truth and we educate the population. We let everybody know how serious this is. I'm going to treat this like an emergency, and I've made that decision over the last week, and I don't break my word when I give it.
I've seen examples of when the public are more in support of addressing the climate emergency than the system allows them to act. We need to tell the truth.
If the public accept it's an emergency, some of the policies, some of the difficult decisions that would have to be made would be a lot more palatable to the public. My daughter tells me endlessly that climate change is more important than Scottish independence. And I'm not convinced it would be the economic disaster that some people try to think and say that it would be. We've got huge renewable potential, there's huge opportunities in creating a green economy.
The essence of it, of course, is telling the truth. If we don't actually deal with this climate change, then we will be devastated, where millions of people will die. And that will actually cause mass migration. These are problems that the world faces. It's a global crisis. It won't be solved in Scotland, in Britain. It needs to be solved throughout the world. And we need to get the media on board to actually understand what we're actually saying and what they need to actually promote.
I think the Liberal Democrats have a clear view on localism. Localism works.
If we want to take real drastic investment action in Scotland, we need to control our own budget. And the only way that we can control our own budget is as an independent nation.
Have you read, or if not considered reading, the contrary evidence to man-made global warming and its significance? The man-made global warming argument is false.
No, I profusely disagree with you.
That we are facing higher levels of carbon dioxide in the air than has been recorded. I will be pushing to consider this a climate emergency from today.
The scientific evidence does show that man-made emissions are causing global warming.
I'll take your voice to Westminster, and anything that I can do in Westminster, even if it is more ambitious than our party policy, even if it goes in a different direction than our party policy, the fundamental point of an emergency is that you take the action you think is necessary, no matter what other politicians around you are saying. I have no faith whatsoever that Bojo is going to do that for you.
People self-regulate to an extent. We just need to be clever with how we encourage people to respond.
I always say that there's only one qualification to being Scots, and it's that you want to be.
I think we need to take a different approach to how we actually grow food. We need to have smaller farm units. I'd have no hesitation in actually banning peat extraction.
I don't think you can have economic growth of 3 or 4% and claim that your country's growing when you have 20-25% kids living in poverty.
The free market economy is not a sustainable model.
I saw you can fly from Glasgow Prestwick to Magaluf for £19. That is not sustainable economic growth. The Liberal Democrats would look to establish a department for climate change and natural resources as soon as possible.
We need to take some serious decisions about how we conduct our own personal lives. Whilst our own emissions are going down, we're still basically sending our emissions overseas.
We will tax the rich, but we'll also go after the organisations that don't pay their taxes. Right? We will go for Amazon, we will go for Facebook, we will go for people who make money in this country, right, and don't pay their taxes.
I agree with a lot of what Ted said, although I think you should probably vote for the Liberal Democrats.
Saying it's an emergency, believing it's an emergency, but acting as if it's an emergency are entirely different things. If you want me to come and have regular meetings with you and update you on what I've been doing in Westminster, just say the time and place and I'll be there. Let's speak, educate me, let me go to Westminster and be your voice. Don't vote for Absent Jack.
What you should actually look at in this election is who's offering the best policies. At the end of this period, there will be a Conservative government or a Labour government. If you choose a Conservative government, then hell mend you.
We had Labour, we've had SNP, we've had Conservative. The phrase, you've had the rest, now try the best, comes to mind. Don't vote to stop somebody else. Vote for who you want to win. Vote for who agrees with you on the biggest principles facing this country. Let's not waste the vast majority of that time on grand constitutional questions when someone could actually be governing this country and addressing the climate emergency that we face.